REDC works to solve humanity's most pressing issues. We invent brand new clean energy technologies and groundbreaking business models that help reduce malnutrition, childhood mortality, poverty, unsafe drinking water, and CO2 emissions. Billions of people throughout the world depend upon the agricultural value chain for survival. In most developing nations, farmers struggle to preserve nutritious food due to the lack of rural electric infrastructure. Farmers in developing nations depend upon green revolution crops, such as grains, rice, and cereals, for income and survival. Unfortunately, these green revolution crops do not possess the micronutrients a growing body requires. 3.5 million children under the age of 5 die each year due to undernutrition. In some countries, physical and mental stunting impacts 4 out of 10 children, and 815 million people throughout the world are malnourished. The world is in need of a clean energy technology that helps rural small-scale farmers in developing nations preserve nutritious food year-round without needing access to electricity. Introducing REDC's Solar Food Preservation Facility. The Solar Food Preservation Facility helps rural small-scale farmers who reside in developing nations preserve nutritious food at the harvest stage. Crops that are ripe are picked and placed in the walk-in cooler, then sold to local customers, market vendors, grocery stores, restaurants, and hotels. Before the nutritious food can spoil in the walk-in cooler, they are preserved long-term in the glass jar canning station. When farmers have the Solar Food Preservation Facility on site, food waste is reduced to almost zero, and the business of farming expands. The Solar Food Preservation Facility turns normally wasted food into profits and maximizes productivity per hectare for the farmer. How does the technology work? REDC uses the thermal energy from the sun to refrigerate the walk-in cooler and boil water in the canning station. REDC concentrates the sun's rays with a parabolic reflector onto REDC's solar heat exchanger. The sun's rays heat sunflower seed oil up to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. The hot oil is circulated through a closed-loop system by a 12-volt gear pump, which is powered by a small solar cell and 12-volt battery. Hot oil fills REDC's ammonia absorption refrigeration heat exchanger. The heat exchanger transfers heat from the hot oil to the ammonia absorption solution. The ammonia solution boils and refrigeration takes place inside the walk-in cooler. The walk-in cooler does not exhaust all of the heat out of the oil. REDC uses this excess energy to boil water in REDC's glass jar canning kettle. By simply opening and closing a valve, water can be boiled in the kettle. REDC's canning kettle is double-walled with open space between the base and walls of the kettle. Hot oil fills the kettle from the bottom up. Oil enters the bottom, fills between the walls, and exits at the top. Heat penetrates the base and inner walls until water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. All food can now be warm bath or pressure canned in glass jars. The farmer now stores the canned food on shelves for consumption and sale later.
All right, I'm going to do something terrible here because I'm actually going to involve a prop in my next question in identifying viable business. So here's what we know about agriculture in many developing countries, that half goes to waste, that we lose half the crop in the process. And the oranges are quite good if you want. How do you identify viable projects so that we know where to invest and we can address that and fix that?
We've never fixed that specific problem.
This breakthrough clean energy technology can help farmers supply their nations with fresh, low-cost, nutritious food, while operating a sustainable and profitable business. Pregnant and nursing mothers can now provide their babies with nutritious food year-round. With REDC's Solar Food Preservation Facility, farmers can reduce malnutrition and childhood mortality, one community at a time. Please visit to donate, place orders, and get the latest updates about REDC's clean energy inventions and business models. Please help us by liking and sharing this video on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Your help will provide another farming community with a solar food preservation facility.